Ever wondered how air traffic control keeps track of hundreds of planes in the sky? Or how police can tell if you're speeding? This is where the magic of radar comes into play. Radar, an acronym for radio detection and ranging, is a system that uses radio waves to determine the range, angle, or velocity of objects. It's a technology that's become an integral part of our everyday lives, even though we may not realize it. From helping air traffic controllers safely navigate planes in our increasingly crowded skies, to aiding meteorologists in predicting the weather, radar plays a pivotal role. It's the unsung hero in maintaining safety and order in our world. The police, for instance, utilize radar to monitor vehicle speeds, ensuring everyone adheres to the rules of the road. All these marvels of modern life are possible thanks to radar systems. So, let's delve deeper into this fascinating technology and discover how it works. So, what exactly is radar? Well, let's dive right into it. Radar is an acronym standing for radio detection and ranging. It's a detection system that uses radio waves to determine the range, angle, or velocity of objects. To make that easier to understand, let's use an analogy. Imagine you're a bat. No, not the kind you swing in baseball, but the kind that flies at night. Bats have this amazing ability called echolocation. They emit high-frequency sounds that bounce off objects in their environment. When the sound waves return, they hit the bat's ears, and the bat can determine the distance, size, and even the shape of the object. Now, imagine we humans wanted to borrow this bat's superpower. We can't exactly start screaming and listening for echoes, right? But what we can do is use technology. And that's where radar comes in. Just like a bat, a radar system sends out a signal in the form of radio waves. These waves travel at the speed of light until they hit an object and bounce back. The radar system then picks up the reflected waves. By calculating the time it took for the radio waves to return, the system can determine the distance of the object. If the object is moving, the frequency of the return signal is changed. This is due to a phenomenon known as the Doppler effect. By analyzing this change, the system can also determine the speed of the object. Radar is more than just a rangefinder. It can also determine the angle or direction of an object, and even its size by analyzing the strength of the return signal. So, in the end, radar is our technological way of mimicking a bat's echolocation. It's a powerful tool that helps us detect and analyze objects at a distance, whether they're planes in the sky, ships at sea, or even a storm on the horizon. In essence, radar is like our technological version of a bat's superpower. A radar system may sound complex, but it's primarily made up of 4 key components. Firstly, let's talk about the transmitter. Think of the transmitter as a loudspeaker at a rock concert. It's the component that generates and amplifies the radio waves that are sent out into the environment. Just as the loudspeaker emits sound waves, the transmitter sends out electromagnetic waves, or what we call radio waves. Next, we have the antenna. Imagine the antenna as the rock star on stage, directing the sound from the loudspeaker out to the audience. In a radar system, the antenna's job is to direct the radio waves from the transmitter into the environment. It also captures the reflected waves that bounce back. The antenna is like the rock star's microphone, picking up the cheers and applause from the crowd. Now, let's move on to the receiver. If the transmitter is the loudspeaker and the antenna is the rock star, then the receiver is the ear in the crowd. It's the component that hears or detects the reflected radio waves that the antenna picks up. The receiver is designed to be very sensitive, so it can pick up even the weakest of signals. Finally, we have the processor. This is the brain of the radar system. Just as your brain interprets the sounds you hear at a concert, the processor interprets the signals from the receiver. It uses complex algorithms to determine the distance and direction of objects that reflected the radio waves. The processor is like the music fan who knows every lyric and beat, understanding the concert in a way others might not. So there you have it, the 4 key components of a radar system: the transmitter, the antenna, the receiver, and the processor. Each plays a crucial role in how radar works. Together, these components work seamlessly to give radar its incredible detection capabilities. Now that we know what radar is and what it's made of, how does it work? Well, let's break it down. Think of radar like playing a game of catch with invisible balls. The transmitter in a radar system is like your arm, throwing out a radio wave, which is our invisible ball. The antenna, acting as your hand, launches this radio wave into the atmosphere, aiming for any object that might be out there. Now here's where things get interesting. The radio wave, our invisible ball, races out at the speed of light, bouncing off any object it encounters. These could be planes, ships, rain clouds, even birds, anything substantial enough to reflect radio waves. Once our radio wave hits an object and bounces back, the antenna, still playing the role of your hand, catches this return wave. It's as if you threw a ball against a wall and it bounced back to you. The time it takes for the ball, or in our case the radio wave, to return gives us crucial information about the distance of the object. The longer it takes, the farther away the object is. But that's not all. The returning wave is also analyzed for any changes in its frequency or phase. This is a bit like catching a ball that's been squished or stretched by the wall. These changes can tell us about the object's speed and direction, known as its Doppler shift. Finally, the receiver, acting like your eyes and brain in our game of catch, takes this reflected wave and passes it on to the processor. The processor interprets the data, piecing together a picture of what's out there based on the distance, speed, and direction of the object. Through this complex game of cosmic catch, a radar system can tell us not just where an object is, but how fast it's moving and even what it's made of, offering invaluable insights in areas like meteorology, aviation, and maritime navigation. And that's how a radar system can tell us where something is, how fast it's moving, and even what it's made of. So, where do we see radar in action? Let's dive into the diverse applications of radar in our everyday world. One of the most common uses of radar is in air traffic control. Imagine a bustling airport with planes taking off and landing every minute. It's the radar's job to monitor each plane, ensuring they maintain safe distances from each other and follow the correct flight paths. Without radar, air traffic control would be like trying to navigate a maze blindfolded. Radar ensures that each plane has a clear, safe route, allowing thousands of passengers to travel safely every day. Moving on to the meteorological field, radar has a significant role in weather forecasting. You know those colorful weather maps we see on the news? They're made possible by weather radars. These radars send out pulses of energy into the atmosphere, and when these pulses encounter raindrops, snowflakes, or other meteorological phenomena, they bounce back. By analyzing these return signals, meteorologists can predict weather patterns, storm movements, and even potential disasters. This allows us to prepare for severe weather conditions and, in many cases, save lives. Radar also plays a vital role in law enforcement, particularly in monitoring vehicle speeds. We've all seen police officers with those handheld devices, right? Those are radar guns. They emit radio waves that bounce off moving vehicles and return to the device. The change in the frequency of these returned waves allows the device to calculate the speed of the vehicle. This technology helps enforce speed limits, promoting road safety and reducing accidents. Then there's marine navigation, space exploration, and even bird migration studies where radar is proving to be an indispensable tool. The list of radar applications is vast and continues to expand as technology advances. Whether it's helping planes land safely, predicting a storm, or catching speeders, radar is an essential tool in our modern world. So the next time you take a flight, check the weather forecast or slow down seeing a police officer. Remember, it's all thanks to radar. So there you have it, the amazing world of radar. We've journeyed through the concept of radar, its components, how it operates, and its varied uses. This ingenious technology, which stands for radio detection and ranging, has become an essential part of our everyday life. Whether it's navigating airplanes in the sky, detecting speed of moving objects, or foreseeing weather changes, radar is working tirelessly behind the scenes. In essence, radar uses radio waves to determine the range, angle, or velocity of objects. It's a system made up of a transmitter, a receiver, and an antenna, and its applications are vast and wide-ranging, from aviation to meteorology, from law enforcement to disaster prevention. It's a silent hero, ensuring our safety and efficiency. Next time you see a plane in the sky or hear about a weather forecast, remember the incredible technology of radar that makes it all possible.